I don't know what there is about zinc, selenium, folic acid, and omega-3s that would help somebody maybe suffering with clinical depression. And then they do the study and it fails, and they say, supplements don't do this. Well, they're not going to help you with depression. Not that combination. It drives me crazy when I see this. Because depression is such a common problem, finding effective and widely available ways to prevent depression at a population level is an important goal. One of the co-authors, I guess, of Dr. Ed Watkins. Dr. Watkins, please stop this nonsense. Supplements weren't intended to help you with depression. I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm an advocate for dietary supplementation. Absolutely. 100%. Full stop. Let the good times roll. I've been talking about supplements for 14 years on this show, and I've been taking them most of my life. I'm a fan. But when I see this kind of research asking supplements, for example, to somehow prevent depression, I need to go on medication. Makes me depressed. It's ridiculous.
You know what I compare that to? And simple-minded as I am, I compare it to putting diesel in a gas-running car.
It's not going to work.
But it's not going to work.
Thank you. I went to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for the DSM-5, for diagnostic criteria that they use in psychology and psychiatry. Mm-hmm. Let me share with you what depression is, and then I'll tell you what those supplements were again. First of all, depression is known as, otherwise known as major depressive disorder or clinical depression, is a common and serious mood disorder. Notice I said serious. Those who suffer from depression experience persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness and lose interest in activities they once enjoyed. Aside from emotional problems caused by depression, individuals can also present with a physician's physical symptom such as chronic pain or digestive issues. To be diagnosed with depression, symptoms must be present for at least 2 weeks. The following are the diagnostic criteria for a psychiatrist or psychologist to make a diagnosis of depression. The individual must experience at least 5 or more symptoms during the same 2-week period, and at least one of the symptoms should be either 1, depressed mood, or loss of interest or pleasure. Here are the criteria. Depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day. 2, markedly diminished interest or pleasure in all or almost all activities most of the day, nearly every day. 3, significant weight loss when not dieting or weight gain, or decrease or increase in appetite nearly every day. 4, a slowdown of thought and a reduction of physical movement observable by others, not merely subjective feelings of restlessness or being slowed down. 5, fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day. 6, feelings of worthlessness or excessive inappropriate guilt nearly every day. 7, diminished ability to think or concentrate or indecisiveness nearly every day. Number 8, and lastly, recurrent thoughts of death, recurrent suicidal ideation without a specific plan or a suicide attempt or a specific plan for committing suicide. Those are the criteria by which a physician or a psychologist will make a diagnosis. They have to have at least 5 of those. And you're telling me that folic acid, selenium, zinc, and omega-3 fish oils are going to try to deal with that? Are you kidding me? And then they go and do the study, and it fails. And everybody is saying, oh, supplements don't prevent, and they say this in the article, supplements do not prevent depression. No kidding. Stop it. It makes me, you can see, I get furious. As a researcher, I'm furious. It's a study intended to fail. How could Dr. Watkins or anybody on that research team, for 1 scintilla of a second, think that taking selenium, zinc, fish oil, and folic acid in combination somehow is going to prevent depression? They're crazier than a barn bat to think that. What it does, it creates this impression that supplements are a waste of time. Prevent depression. You would be better off to drink holy water or go and meditate or find somebody that loves you and let them caress you. That would be more therapeutic. All you did was make expensive urine with that combination. That's all you did.
Buy a dog.
Buy a dog. I'm serious. I am totally serious.
I see it in your face. You look angry.
I am. Because it's not right. And they published it in the most prestigious medical journal on the planet. On the planet. And usually editors don't like to accept studies that fail. They accepted that one because why? It was with supplements. Do you know how many my daughter is in the world of the pharmaceutical world. Do you know how many drugs that are going through stage 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials fail? You never hear about it. But if a supplement fails, oh my God, the earth opens, and then they move heaven and earth to make sure that everybody on the planet knows that supplements don't prevent depression. Oh my goodness. When you heard those criteria, when I said it's a serious mood disorder, those criteria are pretty serious. Suicidal ideations? What does selenium have to do with that? And even with medications, psychiatrists have a difficult time treating patients with depression, clinical depression. It is a serious mood disorder. I had a family member that suffered from depression. I'll try not to be depressed. I'll be back. I was taking a look at the success rate of pharmaceuticals in treating depression. I don't talk enough on this show about mental health. It is just as, listen, psychological, emotional discomfort and pain is just as painful and disturbing and disrupting as physical pain. And there are probably more than a few people that listen and watch this show that are on some sort of medication to treat some sort of mental or psychological disorder. And in this country, we've had an unusual relationship with those kinds of conditions and how we treat people. You know, all those expressions, oh, you're just crazy. And it's not that way in every culture. And it's only recently where, somebody at work, for example, was reluctant to make an insurance claim for a psychological or mental condition because you would be stigmatized. I wonder to what extent that still exists. And there are employees out there afraid to use their insurance for mental treatment, psychological treatment, because they don't want to be stigmatized. So I went to the, I was trying to find how well, in this new study that failed miserably, predictably so, where they used fish oil, zinc, selenium, and omega-3 fish oils for a year to see if it would prevent depression in overweight and obese people. Really. I didn't make that up. That's true. They actually did that study, and it failed. I would have not. I knew that before they even started it. So I went and I said, okay, how do antidepressants do in treating it? According to the National Institute of Mental Health, that's not a bastion of liberality, let me tell you. That's a pretty conservative outfit. The most popular antidepressants are called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. I am sure many of you are familiar with those. Mm-hmm. Okay. The NIH says that these types of medications are more popular than older drugs, such as tricyclics and tetracyclics and monoamine oxidase inhibitors and all those other whatever, because they had so many side effects. These have fewer side effects. The NIH says they do work, but not as much as you might have been led to believe. This was a story that appeared in U.S. News and World Report. In a review of several studies giving them attribution on antidepressant efficacy, the NIH reports that when patients are treated without antidepressants, without them, about 20 to 40 out of 100 who take a placebo will see some improvement within 6 to 8 weeks. For those treated with antidepressants, about 40 to 60 out of 100 will notice an improvement